Here's a mess.
There we go. Okay. All right. We are live on IG.
Nice.
Hello, everyone.
I'm fixing my hair.
Yeah, it's okay because I think we are waiting for everyone else to get on.
Wait, let me put on mute.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, guess who we have again? Again. She's so on that.
It's a pleasure to be here talking to you.
We had to have her.
Wait.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to even see any of the questions. I don't have my phone with me. Okay. Julie, I'm going to rely on you for the questions.
Perfect.
Unless everyone can wait for a second, and let me grab my phone then. You hold on, let me 1 second. Everyone. Did we gain 3 more followers since I left for the 5 seconds I left? I apologize.
Probably not.
All right, everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that is close, near, and dear to me. And Julia says she's never been to Thailand, and I wanted to kind of answer any kind of questions. We're actually I'm putting a group together to go in December. So December 7th to 15th, we're going to take a group of people between Bangkok and Phuket. This is a great chance for you to be able to fly to Thailand and use your points and miles, because all the major airlines fly there. The major ones that you want to fly, like when you think of Q Suites, they fly from Doha to Bangkok. When you're thinking about Lufthansa first, they fly Frankfurt to Bangkok. If you're thinking about Japan Airlines, they fly from the US to Japan and Japan to Bangkok. EVA Airline, one of the most undersung, underrated Taiwanese Asian carriers out there. EVA Airlines, Starlux flies there. China Airways. Who else? Emirates flies there too. So, like, if you're looking to fly one of those big premium, and you go, I want to fly for a long flight, like I want to make it worthwhile my points, it's a great place to go. So we'll kick it off with that, Julia. Well, for those who are not familiar with you, why don't you introduce yourself, and how long have you been doing points and miles now? Like, how long has it been? Because I think you're relatively new to points and miles, right? But you've been a traveler for a while.
Hi everyone. My name is Julie. I'm from Brazil. I used to live in LA. I lived there for 7 years, but then I moved to Miami, and I've been living here for 3 years, so almost 10 years of United States. I've been doing my journey on points for almost a year. So I started August of last year, and yeah, it's been quite a journey. uh, but I've been doing points and miles for 2 years. It was just like a personal hobby, but then all of my friends were like asking me so many questions. How? Oh my God, tell me everything. So then I decided to create this because I just had so many info to share, and I decided to create a new account because my personal has a bunch of Brazilians and they don't speak English, so it was hard for me to be like, yeah, to be speaking two idioms in one account. So I decided to just create my American one, and I've been having so much fun. That's the ultimate goal, to be honest, to have fun. And I've met so many amazing people that I'm just grateful. I'm actually curious to learn everything that you have to say about Thailand, because I've never been. And yeah, this is going to be fun. So
Do you have friends that have gone to Thailand? Do you have friends that have been there?
I do. A lot of Brazilians are kind of like obsessed with Thailand for some reason. They go every year. We love beaches because I'm from a beach town. So every time that we travel, we like to go to beaches. But Brazilians are obsessed with Thailand for some reason. I don't know. So I'm very curious.
There
Hopefully,
must
we got some Brazilians here watching.
there must be a reason. Actually, if you folks are listening right now, can you put down in the comment what is the one or two things you love about going to Thailand? If you've been there, anybody here, it doesn't have to be Brazilian, but if you do love it, go ahead and put in the comment down there like what you love about it, and tell Julia what she's missing if she hasn't been.
Oh, exactly.
All right, folks. Julia, how about this? When you think of Thailand, or you think about Thai or Thailand, what do you think of? What comes to your mind immediately?
Food.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with Thai food. When I used to live in LA, I wanted to eat pad Thai every weekend. And I'm actually going there this weekend, and I'm super excited to eat good again because the food here in Miami still has to improve a little bit, you know. But yeah, pretty much the food and the beach, those two things.
Those two
Street
things.
food,
And
food and beach.
what, let's talk about beach for the second. Now, what is the weather like, or what are the beaches like in Brazil? I would guess they're very nice. I mean, we always hear of Ipanema, or we think about some of the other great beaches around. But tell us a little bit, what is a Brazilian beach like? Because that way I can compare or contrast to maybe a Thai beach.
So Brazilian beaches. Okay, so at least for my city, Brazil is so huge that every state that you go is going to be different, food wise, culture wise, language wise. Everything is going to be different. So Ipanema is Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro they have a little bit of cold beaches,
Okay.
even during the summer, which is funny, but it's, in my opinion, Rio is the best place in the world. Argue with me, but from in my city, the beach is a little bit warmer, and it's going to have all the chairs, all the service, everything available to you for free. You don't have to pay. Like, for example, here in Miami, if you want to stay on a chair or rent a chair and have service, you have to pay for that. In my city, no, it's free for everyone to enjoy. If you just want to drink like a coconut water and sit on the bench, or the chairs that they have, it's going to be free. So that part is amazing. But I'm very curious about Thailand because I think I'm going to compare Thailand versus Brazil in my mind to see which one is better.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, there's no way to overcome when you like come from like from a beach country. So I'll start off with this. When it comes to chairs, like on the beach in Thailand, typically you're going to see people have chairs that belong to a hotel. So if you stay at a hotel, you usually have chairs there for you. Do people bring their own chairs? Yeah, they do. But I would say most of the locals, when they do go to the beach, I don't know if they hang out in the sun as much. Majority of them, what you will find on a Thai beach, is that you're gonna have people selling, hats and things like that. But then they'll also have a lot of vendors doing massage on the beach.
Oh,
so you can
Thai
get
massage. Okay.
you can get Thai massage on the beach. Like, that's like probably one of the ultimate. And I will say this: I don't think they even have massages under 1 hour.
Okay.
I don't even think
it.
Like, it's either an hour or you go 2 hours.
We like that. I wonder if it's similar to Bali, because when I went, I was doing massages every single day because it was so cheap and amazing.
I think in that respect, it's probably similar. I mean, I was just there last month in June, and I would say that
you were.
It's probably somewhere between 300 baht for an hour. So 300 baht is like easy to get. 300 baht is like about, with the dollar the way it is right now, 35. It's probably about like $7 for an hour.
No.
Yeah,
I refuse to believe that.
On the beach, I mean, it's not fancy, but it's, you're on the beach. It's not, but you'll be covered.
Wow.
And you're gonna get, so you're like, for $7, throw in a $2, $3 tip, and they're happy. For under $10, you're getting a massage, for an hour. If you want to do 2 hours, it's like $15. It's like, I don't know how you beat that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we need to go. I need to go. Oh my gosh.
By the way, folks, if you are interested in joining us and joining me, my family, and about 15 other Points of Miles Traveler and folks that love to travel joining us. You can also drop me a comment down there. It says Thailand trip, and we'll go ahead and we'll contact you. Julie, here's the other thing about beaches. I don't think that you have a cold beach. I really don't think we have a cold beach in Thailand, but we have two oceans. So Thailand has on the Phuket side, we have the Andaman Ocean, the sea, Andaman Sea, and then on the east coast of the island of the country, we have the Gulf of Siam. So we have kind of two different waters and two different climates. And if you go to Phuket in the south, I love your.
Sorry, he was jumping on me. He wanted to say hi. I think he's curious about Thailand too.
Come. I would say this: when you go down to the south of Thailand, you actually have two different waters. One is kind of the crystal clear, more the blue water you think of, and then you go up north. You actually have like an emerald green water, and the emerald green water is interesting because if you go there, we have islands that have. There's one famous island. The island looks like it's like a big nail. It's been nailed into the ground, and we call it the Tapu Island. Tapu means a nail. And so it became so iconic that they filmed the James Bond 007 movie there. And it's renamed now James Bond Island because that's where they filmed it. So a lot of people go there. It's a national park. And you will be able to see that as well when you come on this trip with us.
What about the monkey beach? Because I see that all the time. People go there and you see a bunch of monkeys. They steal your food. They go through your backpack.
If you go to Pattaya, you don't have to go to a monkey island to find monkeys in Thailand. They have places that are kind of more, especially some of the temples, because a lot of the temples that are in Thailand, they don't, they can't hurt or kill or any of the animals. So some of the monkeys kind of like overrun because they are aggressive. I don't know if you guys know anybody who's ever dealt with monkeys. They can be, if they don't have any shame and they can be rude.
I saw that.
They'll come up and if they're familiar with humans enough, they'll come up to you. And if you are not careful with the phone, they're going to grab your phone. They're going to grab your glasses, and they're not just going to run away with it. They know that you can give them food. So then they'll trade with you. You want back this phone? Okay, a banana then.
Give me something.
Yeah. They take it because they know that you're going to give them something in return to return it back to you. So they're smart from that perspective.
I love that. All right. What about, let me see. Let's change from beach to street food. Is it as good as they say?
Okay. So let me give a background on Thai street food. I don't think most Thai people today cook.
What do you mean?
I don't think most Thai people cook because there's so much food in Thailand that it doesn't make sense for if you're single. So if you're solo and single, it may not make sense for you to go and buy all the ingredients, come home and cook it, because it may make more sense for you just buy something
on the street
available. Yeah. So I will say that sure, should you cook at home? Sure. Is it healthier for you? Yes, you should do all those kind of things, but it's so readily available and it's so affordable that I come home to America and I feel like I'm starving here because it's so I feel like they eat so well over there. I will say this, generally speaking, I'm probably eating 4 or 5 times a day in Thailand.
As you should.
But if I'm not,
that's so good.
But I'm not eating as much. So, because I already know in my mind, because I think here's the thing. I think when you're here, you go your breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're gonna go sit down at a restaurant. You can't go sit down 5 restaurants. That's like 5 times you got to tip people. So and they don't tip there. So it's not like a cultural. I think that's an American thing. So when it comes down to it, I can have 2 bowls of a noodle dish and maybe a rice dish. And I walk out and I'm paying maybe $3, $4.
Oh my God. What do you mean?
In today's day and age. I'm not talking about, this is years ago. I'm today, last month.
Imagine years ago, 10 cents.
I mean, I go do that same dish, that same pad thai you're thinking about, right? That you can get for $2 in Thailand. You come over here, we're talking 17 to $18, So it's cheaper to travel to Thailand and save money
Oh yeah.
and then eat.
Rent your place, go to
Yeah.
Thailand, stay in Hyatt's for free using your points, and then you're saving a lot of money.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I just got someone who just signed up right now. Just sent me a notification that someone signed up for the trip. Um,
Nice.
I want to. I want to share with you. I think the food is relevant, but when you in specifically answer your street food question, is the street food is good? I think there's two things happening right now that a lot of people don't realize is that the street food has always been a big cultural thing because the barrier to entry to open up a business is basically, do you have a cart? Can you open up? So, and food is so readily available. I mean, Thailand, if it's our natural resource is actually our food. Like we're one of the biggest rice exporters in the world. So like if you have rice, you can feed your people. I mean, your people never gonna
People
die.
love rice. In Brazil, we are very obsessed with our rice and beans. So
I think you guys are one of the biggest corn exporters in the world too, right?
yeah.
I mean, like Brazil is one of these countries in the world that if they'd ever decide to be communist and be blocked off from the rest of the world, they could survive. They don't need to trade from the rest of the world. Like Brazil is self-sustaining. It's like one of the, other countries can't do it. Like Russia's crazy. They can't feed their own people. I don't know how you could be separate from the rest of the world, but Brazil could do it if they wanted to. They could.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, from that perspective, Thailand's always been like the bread basket or rice basket of Asia. Like we have so much we export. I mean, we have so much food, we export it. So like your shrimp you get is probably from Thailand. If it's not from Mexico, it's from Thailand. Your rice, your jasmine rice is coming from
coconut
Thailand.
milk is from Thailand.
The coconuts are from Thailand. So we have so much. And you know what? I always say this. We probably export all the good stuff because we could probably get more money for it. So they export all the good stuff overseas and things like that.
We do that in Brazil too. So we have the best fruits,
right?
But then we export everything. And then we're just left with like bad fruit. So we never get to try the good stuff because they all send everything away.
They send it away. But the food is very, very good. One thing I noticed when I'm there is there's not much of this whole like the processing in the lab and the seeds. And so I think like my wife says when she goes to the market and smells the fruit, wow, she's like, I can smell the mango. Like over here, I look at the mango and it looks like a mango and it looks like a mango, but you can't smell the mango. Like over there, you can smell it. Like, wow, okay, that's a mango for sure. So those are the kind of the things, the differences where you can actually, and it's always seasonal. So like when we go in December, there'll be different like rambutan. I just came back in June, and durian is super, super popular. And actually, there's like durian millionaires now coming out because the Chinese love durian so much. Yeah.
I heard durian is so bad. Smells bad.
So I think durian has a reputation because, but I mean, let me see if I can clear up that reputation about durian for a second.
No.
There's like 4 different, actually there's more than 4, but there's like probably 4 major varieties. Like you have bananas, you have different kind of bananas. Well, durian has different varieties as well. The best one is what we call montong. And montong variety is actually kind of crispier. Like when you see a durian, it's actually broken into like 4 chambers, like a heart.
Yeah.
So you crack it and then you take, and it's like a big seed. The good ones have a small seed, so there's more meat. So you want to have the one with the smaller seeds, so there's more meat. And the montong, which I think is probably the most popular among Thais and is probably the more expensive one, is actually crispier on the outside and it's kind of creamier, like a pudding on the inside. But here's the thing. This is where I think a lot of people really mess up on. They don't realize that. So when they try their very first durian, sometimes it's out on the street. Sometimes it may not be the montong version. And in my opinion, some of the other ones, they don't do very well outside. Thailand's a tropical area, so it can be hot. So I think the reason why some people love it and some people hate it is because if you leave a fruit out in a hot area for a long time, it's going to get ripe. And when it gets ripe and it's not in an ideal condition, it's going to start to smell. Same thing if I had a banana. I mean, everyone got to think about that for a second. So when you're eating it for the first time, if it's not crispy, if it's kind of soggy and you're eating, I wouldn't like it either. If that was my very first time and it's kind of a different, I don't know if I would love it. So I think more people should try the right variety, and if they had it in the more ideal condition, I think they would actually like it a lot. But I think most people who didn't like it, they got the wrong variety and they just had it, it was too ripe. They should have it before it gets ripe. But folks on the vendor on the street, they're just trying to sell their stuff, so you got to have it the right way.
All right. Yeah, I think you cleared that up. Thank you for that. So, do you want to talk about like historical places that you guys are going on this group trip?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that many people don't know is that Thailand is actually one of the most Buddhist countries. It's probably the Buddhist country of the world. Like 90%, like 88% of Thais are Buddhists. And
Okay.
so we have quite a bit of temples, even though Buddha's from India. You can't be a prophet in your own land. Thailand is more Buddhist than India is. I mean, India is like Hindu and Muslim. Like, I don't know where all the Buddhists are from India, but they're not in India. They're mostly in Thailand. So we have one of the largest communities of temples around there. So we have one of the largest lying Buddhas. Like, one of the things we're going to go see is a lying Buddha. We have a grand palace. So we have a monarchy, and there's 10. We're in right now the 10th king of the Chakri dynasty. By the way, the ninth king, his father, the current king's father, actually gave him my Thai name. Like, I have a name that's given by the king of Thailand, and yeah, seriously, my mom danced ballet for the king, and so she got married by the king. So one of the things is,
Oh
if
my God.
my mom was like one of those like royal ballet dancers, and she raised money for all the royal projects and did a lot of charity work. So when she got married, it's interesting. So when my dad proposed to my mom, they were here in the U.S. My mom said yes, but there was one condition. I was like, okay, what was that one? She's like, we have to go back to Thailand to get married by the
Oh.
by the king. And then my dad's like, and who am I marrying?
Oh my God. I didn't even know Thailand had a king back in the days. Okay, that's some
Still,
good history.
still,
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 Jesus Christ.
we have a
I didn't
king.
know that.
Yeah, we have a monarchy. So um, we've had a monarchy since the country started by this current family. And so we're in the 10th kingdom, or the 10th king of this particular dynasty right now. I mean,
Okay.
so actually one of the things that we're going to go see is the different palaces. So each king had their own palace,
Oh, nice.
and they're all in one area. So they open it up for visitors and Thais as well to go and visit. So that'll be one of the things we're going to go visit, and we'll see some of the palaces from 300 years ago. So it's interesting to see the different palaces that each king had, because it's from a different era.
That's
So
amazing. It is something that I think most people won't even consider adding to their itinerary. So having you as a local, I think it's great, right?
it will be. Sometimes you see online they talk about Grand Palace scams, how the drivers will
Of course,
drive,
there's a
and
scam.
I'm like, I honestly I've never had it, but they won't have that problem there with us.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, nothing like traveling with a local because, like, for example, I went to Edinburgh and then I saw two locals that I met on Instagram. I'm so happy about that. And my experience was so different, I'm sure, than if I was just trying to explore the city by myself. So having a local with you is life changing.
Absolutely. This will be probably my 18th time of my life to Thailand. I'm really excited about going there. I think I've taken Niley now probably eight
So you
times.
go there every year?
As soon as the country opened after COVID, I was there. Here's the thing. When we look back, COVID, that period of time, although it was a pain in the butt to do the testing and, all
Yeah.
that stuff, it was a pain. But I'm going to tell you, if you traveled during that time, it was the best time. There was no tourists. There was no crowds. It was
I'm
like
sure.
everything was open. It was fantastic when I look back on it now. And the prices were good.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can find award availability, and it was low, and it was like, wow, it was just incredible. So I encourage people and I think this is the thing. I think a lot of people at that point realized when they were trapped and they couldn't go anywhere, what am I going to do in my life? There's a rest of the world that, and you're like, I can only do so much. I hope people don't forget that feeling and realize that, life is short. You may not be able to make it back again. There maybe not be a next year for you. You never know about your health. You don't know about your situation, if you can be able to do it. So if you physically can, I encourage people to travel now rather than later.
Yeah, I agree.
Time you can't ever get back. Time you can't.
There's so many reasons that we can say here that, should encourage people to do it. Your points are not getting, cheaper. The value of your points are just like going crazy right now. And I love a phrase that says every destination, that every choice that you make is gonna lead you to death, no matter what. So it's sad, but it's very strong and powerful. But at the same time, it hits you on the face like, whoa, okay, so I think I should live my life more deeply instead of like being so preoccupied with things that are not even important, right?
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, we live in America where the points are so easier to achieve than it would be in other countries. The kind of bonuses, the welcome bonuses, the credit card offers we have. So if you're listening and you go, I don't know, I don't have the money to do it, I go, then what's stopping you from learning about how to do points and miles? What's stopping you? Oh, it's too complicated, I hear. And I'm not saying it's easy,
Yeah.
but there is a way to do it. I mean, I run a masterclass for a reason. I mean, I know that you have some things coming out as well, but we all have there's a way. If you really want to be able to do it, there's a way you can do it for less. There are
Yeah.
ways that you could be able to find cheap cash fares too. There are ways that you don't have to fly business class, although it's a lot nicer if you had, the points. But that's the beauty of it. So let's say I have the cash to fly coach, but learn about points, and maybe you can upgrade now, and you can be able to start flying business now when you're
Or
flying,
maybe you can use your points to stay in free hotels. So,
or use it for staying at
right.
hotels, and now you can take away that excuse, and you don't have to go stay with family that you don't like.
Exactly.
You don't know, or you feel uncomfortable asking them, go stay where you want to go stay at. We can
There
do
you
all
go.
these things. So, and look, we're going to be staying at Hyatt properties, which are,
That was my next question. Okay, thank you.
we're going to go stay at some Hyatt properties, the Hyatt Regency Bangkok, which is a fantastic property. And then when we go to Phuket, which is our second location, which our trip is going to include the flight down there as well. We're going to stay at two Hyatt properties. One is the Hyatt Regency Bangkok. The other one's Phuket. The Hyatt Regency Bangkok is only 12,000 points. Okay.
Really?
Yes, both hotels are only 12,000 points.
That's
Actually, I think
great.
Hyatt Regency is 15,000. So it's 12,000, 15,000 points. On the low season, sometimes it goes down as low as 9,000 points. I said for a long time that the Hyatt Regency Bangkok is the best Hyatt best Hyatt in Bangkok. It's not the best hotel in all of Bangkok because there's a lot of 5-star properties, but it is the best Hyatt hotel for not between 9 to 12,000 points. I don't think you can complain about that.
Oh no.
And
No,
if you
absolutely
wanted,
not.
and if you really wanted to just do a mattress run, you can go stay at the Hyatt Place Bangkok, and the Hyatt Place Bangkok has a full-on buffet. I mean, it's not a simple one; it's a pretty good one, and it's only 5,000 points a night. You
Wow.
could stay 30 days for 5,000 points a night. So with 150,000 points, you could stay an entire month.
So yeah, with a welcome bonus from one credit card, you can plan a whole
Yeah.
free trip to Thailand.
Mhm.
That's incredible. Wow, I love that. Thanks for letting us know that. So,
Someone says,
speaking about award availability, what is the perfect flight itinerary from LA to Thailand? What do you recommend?
oh, flights, there's a lot of ways to get there. Well, first of all, the one that's most natural is Bangkok, is flying to Bangkok rather than going Chiang Mai
Okay.
to Phuket. So you're going to look at
Yeah.
Bangkok as your destination. Unfortunately, Thai Airways, which is the national carrier and Star Alliance member of United, does not fly to the U.S.
Oh
So
no.
you cannot fly Thai Airways. They go as far as Japan right now, so they're doing regional. But ever since COVID, or even before COVID, they stopped flying Thai Airways. So that was one of the challenges that we had. But they're partners of Thai Airways, like United. They do fly there. ANA flies there. I would fly Japan Airlines as well. So there are a lot of different flight options to get there. It's very, very simple. One stop, you can get there. Now, if you're on the East Coast and if you're on the West Coast, I would suggest you fly going westward through the Pacific and with one stop, either Taipei through like EVA Airlines, Starlux, or China Airlines. You can also do Singapore, going south all the way to Singapore, maybe doing a stop there on the way to Bangkok. And by the way, if you do a Singapore Airlines flight on their normal saver, not their saver, but their normal Advantage booking, you could be able to get a free stopover in Singapore.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like if you go with Japan Airlines, you can stop in Tokyo for a few days and then finish your destination for free and finish your destination in Thailand. Singapore too. Singapore is a place that I really want to go. So I think maybe adding another country to this list will be very interesting and appealing to me. I've been craving to go to Asia lately, and I think I really want to do it next year. So maybe, who knows? I can add Thailand to my itinerary.
Absolutely. I see a note came in from on the YouTube, says, anyone here speak Thai? I do. Swadee krap. And by the way, I was going to say, if you say, okay, so when we greet in Thailand, we don't actually shake hands, but we actually put our hands together in a lotus, and we call Y, W-A-I, and we say Swadee krap. If you're a boy, if you're a male, you say Swadee krap when you greet someone, and if you're a female, you'll say Swadee ka. That is the female greeting. When it doesn't matter who you're addressing, it's if you're a female, you'll always say Swadee ka. And khop kun kap, you'll use that Y twice. So use it when we greet each other and when we leave. And you'll see Thais actually greet each other that way, and they'll maybe greet you as well when you're a guest at their property or at their restaurant or whatever the case may be. So you'll see that quite often.
Oh, that's amazing. So let me know. So for example, I am on a restaurant and I want to order a pad thai. How do I say it?
Okay, so you can say I think everyone understands pad thai, right? So
no, but I don't want to be rude and be like pad thai. That's it.
You could add pad thai ka, or you could say call pad thai ka. Call means you're asking for pad thai, and then you can add the ka at the end, which means like it makes it polite.
Oh, call pad thai ka.
Yeah, very good.
That's easy. I can do that.
I can make it more complicated, but I'm going to keep it really, really simple that you know what you're requesting, and then you make it polite. Call pad thai ka and if you throw in a Y in there, which you don't have to, but you threw a Y in there at the end of it,
they will be thankful.
They're just going to go. They're going to lose their mind's going to be blown. They're going to blow their mind, and they're going to go, wow, you tried really hard. They're going to give you something called Piste means like extra large. They're going to get like extra large version or order for her.
Oh my gosh. Also, what about desserts? What are popular? Sticky rice, mango sticky rice. I see this all the time, and it's like so appealing to me that it's so funny because we've been talking about food all the time, and I'm hungry and I can taste like a pad thai right now, and I just spoke about the sticky rice, and I for some reason I'm tasting it. I want you to talk about desserts.
So, one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that I think Thai dessert is as much a variety as Thai cuisine, Thai food is. And let me a little background. Let me take a step back. Thailand, or the word Thai, it actually means free.
Oh. Okay.
Because before it was Thailand, we would call it Siam or Siam. And Siam or Siamese, or you've ever heard that term, is from Thailand. That is the term what Thailand was called before they became free. King Rama V, the fifth king of this dynasty, was a student of the Western democracy, even though there's a monarchy, and he wanted to modernize. King Rama IV, his father, actually wanted to modernize the country, so he sent his son, the King Rama V, Western schooling and education, and he studied Abraham Lincoln and said, you know what, we're going to end slavery in Thailand. We had slavery in Thailand as well. So around like late 1800s, like 1880, we ended up ending slavery. Don't quote me on the dates on that one, but slavery ended. And Thailand is basically a reference to that. It ended up, and it was Thais having other Thais. So it was a classist issue. And so and I'm going to answer one thing that a lot of people don't realize. Do you know why we have Thai names are so long?
No, I know they're
Have you ever
gigantic.
seen Thai last names? Have you ever seen Thai last names? They're very long. I don't know if
It's
you.
one word, right?
It's
Because
one long
Brazilian
word.
names are very long too. I
Okay,
always get called
I'm
by.
gonna I'm gonna explain to you. A lot of people don't know. Do you know why Thai names are so long? Okay, this goes back to the slavery issue. Okay, this goes back to the slavery issue. So the king at the time, because they had to marry within the family, there's a lot of inbreeding going on. Like cousins marrying cousins because they got to marry. So the problem was because of that, a lot of the kids died. They don't make it, and they're having multiple wives and loads of kids. So there's tons of princes. I mean, King Rama V, I think had like, I kid you not, I think it's documented. I think he had 250 wives.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right. Like,
The guy must have been so stressed.
he had like 500 kids. I think 200 of them made it
Imagine.
through.
No.
Okay, so because of this, there was a lot of prince and nobles and dukes and duchess and cousins, and they're living on and so they all had their servants and everything like that. Remember, this is pre-slavery. So when they decided to end slavery, it wasn't an easy thing because basically he told his cousin and his brother and sisters, you're not going to have any more free labor. You're not, I mean, it was not very popular. I mean, it's a very political thing to end, just like in this country. So when they ended it, the nobility decided to do this. They said, fine. All these people, the slaves, had no last name. They only had, because they belonged, there was no need for a last name or anything like that. They had no legal right. But when they ended everything, they all became free. They needed a last name. So all the nobility decided to put, like they needed to name something, but they were afraid that these servants and slaves were going to come back and try to make a claim that they were also a son. I'm one of the 500 kids, right? So they actually had this list on the wall that had the name, and they said, this is the king's name, or this is no nobility name. You can have a last name, but you cannot have this last name. So you know what some of the people did was they would take that last name and add something on top of it. So it made the name long. And then the Chinese came to Thailand. And when the Chinese came to Thailand, they all had to send their kids to school too. My father is Chinese, and my father and grandparents are literally like Chinese from China. And they left during the Mao's communist revolution. So they came to Thailand. And when they came to Thailand, one of the challenges that they had was my father had to go to Thai school. He didn't go to Thai school because you're going to Chinese school. So he learned Chinese. My father goes to Chinese school until he was like 7 years old. And then they forced everybody, no more, you have to go to Thai school and learn Thai. So my dad didn't even speak. It's like him being, Mexican in LA and not speaking English. It was equivalent to that.
Yeah.
So my dad had forced everyone to go to Thai school. They assimilated everyone. And when he forced him into Thai school, my family's last name in Chinese is Sako, like Koh or NGO. You ever see that last name, NGO?
Yeah.
That's our family, Chinese, the family name. So they had to try to translate that or transcribe into Thai. There was no Go in Thai, but there's Go Men. And Go Men means school. And then Gun means family in Thai. So Go Men Gun means like family jewel or the Sako family. So this Go Men Gun name, my last name is, I'm only the second generation. My father and his brothers are the first generation. They made that up.
Oh my God.
Most of the Thai people's names are all made up because they had to do some kind of Thai Chinese conversion or they have long names.
Yeah, I have a long name too. So I
You
have
do?
2 last names. I have 2. So in Brazil, you add your last name from your mom, from your dad, and when you get married, you add the 3rd last name. So I have 3 last names, and my social security didn't even fit. So I had to put everything all together. It's a complete mess. You have no idea.
So Portela is which one? Which last name is this
It's
one?
the 3rd from my husband. So my name is Julia Damasceno Gomes Portela. Portela.
So
Yeah.
you don't, okay, so the Mexicans, I hear they switch it when they get married, at least one of the names, like their father's name, but you're,
I
no.
could not. I wanted to be Julia Damasceno Portela, but they said no. You either remove everything, and then my mom will kill me, to just be Julia Portela with your husband's name, or you just add the last name. And I'm like, fine.
So when you're growing up, if you're not married, then you're gonna have two last names then,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Every
the
every
norm.
girl.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And that's how you know what is the mother side and what's the father side.
exactly. Yeah.
So in Thai, we actually have something similar when we're talking about aunt and uncle. So for example, if my aunt and uncle are older than my father, we have a term for that. So we have to know if they're older. So if they're older, we say for the uncle we say lung, and if we say if it's pa, if it's the aunt, if it's older. If they're younger than my father, I will say ah for both sides. If they're younger than my mother, we say nah. So for aunt and uncle, we can tell by older or younger than your parents by how you address them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Yes.
that's rude to to call out people's age. Imagine people call me
It's
out.
yeah. So my cousin, as he gets older, I used to call him Pete Bong, which is P. It's just like an older brother, and as now he's like 50, right? So when I now they have a daughter, she's technically, because he's older than me, we're supposed to call him Loom, right? And then he's like, I don't really want to be your Loom.
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
And then when he becomes like a grandfather, we have like ta. So like sometimes we make fun. We're like, oh, maybe it's ta bong. Oh my god, it's a or
Oh my God.
oh my god, so
That's
it's
so
so
funny.
funny.
So, since you live in LA, what is your favorite Thai restaurant over there that you
So
go
there,
and you're like, you feel like you're actually having authentic Thai food?
so I will say this: where my father's restaurant is on Hollywood Boulevard, um, is really where when Thai first came here. My father came here back in the late '60s when the first Thais first came here in the early stage, and when they came, they were only in two areas. They were either in Hollywood or they were in Long Beach. So
Far.
all the guys were in Long. My dad was from the Long Beach group, and my mom was in the Hollywood group. And my mom would like literally take it down there. So there's probably some good Long Beach spots still, out there. I'm not too familiar with them, but there are some good ones out there. But my favorite one in Hollywood, and I would say that Hollywood is probably the most authentic area because they actually now designate that Thai town. It's the only Thai town in the entire United States.
Mhm. Yeah.
We have over, I would say we probably have at least 300,000 Thai people in Los Angeles or Southern California alone at this point. So so there's a lot of Thai restaurants. I don't want to mess up a lot of Thai restaurants. There's a ton. If I haven't eaten them, there's too many that I haven't eaten at. But I will say this: if you go to Thai town, other than my dad's restaurant, which has been open 52 years, it's called Lot Det. It's a duck noodle soup and beef noodle soup. That's kind of what they're known for. And if anybody who's Thai has ever been to LA and been stayed a long period of time, they have eaten at
Yeah. They
restaurant.
don't know, right? Okay.
52 years, been around forever. But another great one, there are a couple good ones. I'll start off with Luen Pa, which is Ruenpair, Luen Pa. It's in Hollywood. They have fantastic papaya salad. Like their papaya salad is like legendary. Like their somtam papaya
I
salad.
love
And
it's
right
so
down
fresh.
and then right down the street, this is one that nobody ever talks about. They actually have a street food vendor. Like literally, they on the street on Hollywood Boulevard in front of Limpan and the Thailand Plaza at night on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They actually have like street vendors making food. And one of them actually serves latna. Latna is like a really popular dish in Thailand too, street food. It's like noodles with Chinese broccoli, kale, with some type of meat, like usually it'll be sliced pork, and then like a gravy, like a soy-based gravy. It's fantastic. They probably do a really good latna on Hollywood Boulevard. I can't remember the name, but it's the only one in front of Thailand Plaza. And it's only at night. They open until like 2 in the morning. They open at night and they open until 2 in the morning, just like
Oh
a lot
my
of street
God, you're
food
making
restaurants.
me so hungry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, I'm curious. So from Bangkok, how do you get to Phuket? Is Phuket
So
the best area to stay?
okay, that's a great question. Okay, that's a great question. So I would say this: Phuket is not the only place to stay. There's Phuket, which is think of Thailand like an axe. So at the top is like where is like the top of where the axe is, and then the handle. Phuket is like down the handle.
Yeah.
When you go down to Phuket, the best way to fly to get there is to fly. We're going to fly Bangkok Airways, but there's other low cost areas as well. There's Nok Air, there's Air Asia. There's a lot of different airlines to fly. I personally like
Fly is the best way.
personally, I personally like Bangkok Airways the most, even though a little bit pricier. They're like JetBlue. Like they feed you nice. They give you 2 bags for free. They don't sweat you. They have a lounge. They have a lounge.
Nice.
They have a lounge. Let me like this. They have 2 lounges, one for business class
Oh,
and one for economy.
okay.
They have 2 lounges. The economy, they have a lounge for you. And here's a little tip. If you have a priority pass, and you don't book business but you book economy, you can get into the
The
business class
business.
lounge with your priority pass.
Nice. So good tip. Okay,
Good
good.
tip. But they have someone that they have Bangkok airport has historically some of the best Asian priority. Like every year, the priority pass has like these are the best lounges in the world. Thailand, Bangkok always wins.
I'm sure because of the food.
I mean, I mean, I mean, like they'll do made to order. Like they'll give you a menu and a priority pass. Come on, you don't need to fly first class. You go a priority pass in Bangkok, and they'll give you a menu, and you go here. What would you like to order? And they'll bring the food to you. I mean, think about that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
priority pass restaurant. I mean, priority pass lounge.
That sounds amazing. Virgin Atlantic is kind of like similar in New York. So they give you a menu and everything, but it's not Thai food.
Yeah.
It's
So,
not Thai food.
so where to stay? There's actually quite a bit. I'll say this. There's Phuket. Now, if you're Thai, I'll say this. This is an interesting thing. Phuket is great for a reason, but most Thais don't go to Phuket and they don't know it. And I'll
Yeah,
say this.
I knew Phuket is only for tourists.
But
So,
here's the thing.
right?
I'm going to say this right now. Most Thais are missing out
Oh, okay. Why?
because they don't go to Phuket because it is such known for the tourists that they don't go. But I really think, and for people like myself who've been to the other ones, I don't think anything can compare to Phuket in Thailand. Honestly, Krabi can't compare. It is Krabi nice? Yeah, it's nice. Do they have some great, fantastic? Yes, they do. But the infrastructure that Phuket has is such. It's so much more well developed, and
So
the
that's
people.
the best place to go if you want to explore the beach.
I think there's a lot of little beaches along the way to explore too. They have rocky beaches, they have sandy beaches. The hotel that we're staying at, the Hyatt Regency Phuket, they actually have a reef in front of the hotel. Yeah, and they have a marine science center where they have a marine biologist and they'll learn. You can learn about jellyfish. I learned a lot about jellyfish and how important they are, and how they take care. But there's a lot of things like that. But like Bangkok has, Phuket has some of the best beaches out there, and then you can also take a port there and go island hopping. You can. Here's the thing: instead of taking a big tour group thing, you can actually hire, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire a private boat and then we'll charter it. And then we can go hopping on different islands and we're going to have
Oh
lunch.
my God.
We're gonna have
That's
lunch
amazing.
like on a deserted island and put like a picnic. We'll have a picnic on a deserted island. So it'll be fun.
Oh my God, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, those are things that you can do and you can do it for not so much money. I mean, that's the thing about it. And I think is Phuket a little bit more than some of the other places like Krabi and yes, but I think the infrastructure there and there's a lot of services and that's really what you're doing when you're on vacation. Now the other place to go is called Samui. That's another island.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of
So whereas Phuket has the Andaman Sea, the on the east coast you have Koh Samui, and that's part of the Gulf of Siam. And so the Gulf of Siam or Gulf of Thailand, that water is a little different,
that.
and you have Koh Samui, and that's a great one as well. I've been there a few times. There, so if you're going to Koh Samui, I would check out the W Hotel, the
Mhm.
Vanabelle on the Marriott. Hyatt just opened the Hyatt Regency over there as well, and then there's. But I would say the two Marriott properties are probably the best, and there's a Hilton Conrad, which is probably one of the best Conrads in the world.
Okay, nice. So
If you're
what about the moon sun? When is the best time to go? Because it rains a lot, right?
if you go right now, it is a rainy season.
Okay.
Like right now is the rainy season. That rainy season probably ends around November, October, November. It probably starts to end. And so November, going into December and January is probably the best time. It's hard to gauge, but that's the reason why I'm doing this trip in December because it's the cooler season. So it's probably going to be like low 80s or mid 80s. That's their cool
Nice.
season. And so, you know, so
I love that.
too bad. So it's going to be great. And they open up, by the way, some of the islands, they only open up during that season.
Oh,
And
okay.
so if you go right now, there's some islands that are not even open because they got to save it and let, over tourism is harmful for a lot of beaches. That's the other thing because a lot of
Yeah.
tourists come in.
But is it really an issue if you travel during the moon sun? Because in Brazil, we have the same because we have a tropical weather. And even though sometimes they'll say, oh, no, we're during the moon sun and everything, it barely rains. So,
Um, does it rain the whole day? No, but it may rain, for a few hours. If you don't mind that, you're going to get good rates when you go
yeah,
when you go during this season. Like I went during this season, we were able to get upgrades. That's another thing. Like when I teach my master,
perfect.
like go in, if you don't mind the 2-3 hours. Now, if you have a day, on the water, and then the lot of rain. I mean, yeah, that can ruin your day. But if you're not like on the day where you're on the road or traveling from on the sea, it's not bad at all. I think you can be able to get pretty good, and it's nice. It cools down the weather sometimes just because of rain. But yeah, highly take a look at traveling even off season. Like if you're not going to do December and January, I would say I've done October. I've done April is their hot season. Actually, here's something you don't know. Our New Year's is actually the opening of summer. Thai New Year's is the opening of summer. So it's April
It's
13,
similar
14,
to
15.
Brazil.
Do
It's
you guys have
similar
something
to
like that too?
my brain is so confused by now because I have like so many things. In the United States, it's literally the opposite in Brazil. So when summer starts here, it's the opposite there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's literally the opposite.
So
So
but here's the cool thing: when we open up summer or Thai New Year's in Thailand, because it's so hot, the holiday season ends up becoming a festival where they get everyone wet. So they literally throw water at each other, and people bring water guns, but it's not like your regular water gun. Here, let me give you an example. If you're traveling on that day, which a lot of people travel home because it's a big holiday, a long holiday, um, if you pull up to another car at a red light and you had a kid like in a motorcycle, the kid in a motorcycle may be with a water gun. And if you had the window rolled down, you say you want to play, the water may be coming right in your car. I'm just telling you right now. You better roll
oh
down.
my god.
There are truck. Then what's will happen? Then a pickup truck will come by, and there'll be like 10 people at the back of the pickup truck with like these huge basins of water and tons of water guns and buckets, and they'll be throwing water at everyone. I mean, it's like the biggest water fight throughout the whole country. So imagine they're going to every stop, and they're like having water gun
Go
fights
for everyone.
between two truck. Oh, it's
And
hilarious.
that's the entire Thailand or just like
It's a national holiday for 3 days.
oh my god.
Yeah. So people now, if you want to go play, you can go to Khao San Road and go play. And then now they have like this, they'll block off the street, it becomes like a walking street, and then people come. I've seen my friends, they'll come back out of it. They got shorts on, they're like, they're like going to the beach.
Prepared.
Yeah, and then they got goggles, they got their water guns. I mean, it's like
God,
you good not to go play, like yeah.
that sounds fun for the kids.
Yeah.
Someone's asking when is that holiday?
That's April 13, 14, and 15. And
Okay.
that week also is the week where there's also a king's birthday or coronation day. So there's like another day, like 2 days before. So people just end up taking the whole week off because it's like literally a whole like vacation during that time. But most people they'll go home. So they come into Bangkok to work and then they'll go home back out. So majority of people who work in Bangkok are not from Bangkok. They're from another region and they'll come into work and they send money back home. And, during that holiday, they'll go back.
Oh, okay. So how many days are you guys staying in Bangkok?
We're going to be 4 nights on the 7th to the 11th. We're going to go visit Ayutthaya as well. We're going to go to the Grand Palace. We'll do a riverside cruise on the Jalpia River with a Michelin star chef. We'll have a tuk tuk ride through street crawl, nightclub crawl through for food. Street
Nightclub
food.
crawl.
Well, maybe we'll do some nightclub after the night because our hotel is not far from Nana, which is like Sorry Cowboy, and it's like a red light district. So if people are interested, they can go see a ping pong show if they want to go see that.
So the Hyatt in Bangkok where you guys stay is the best area.
It's very central. It's very
Okay.
central, and it's a nice hotel. There's some great. It's easy to get places because there's a BTS too, which is like their air train, so you can avoid a lot of the traffic that you see. And there's tons of malls where a lot of street food are moving to there now.
Sorry, my dogs.
Yeah.
I think they have a question too. So, what about the beach? How many days are you guys staying at the beach?
So we're going to fly down Phuket, and that's going to be another 4 more nights. And so we're going to do
Okay.
catamaran on one night. The other day we're going to go island hopping with a
Nice.
longtail boat. The other day we're going to go to the Big Buddha. We're going to go up to the top of the Big Buddha.
Ooh.
Fantastic seafood and huge prawns and great Thai food and curries and things like that along the way as well. And then we'll have some beachside dining, riverside dining. We'll do all that kind of good stuff. So I'm trying to mix in not only the tourist side, we'll have that, and then I want to also have some of the local side as well, so that people can experience both.
That's amazing. Can you go to local spots in Phuket since you said there's only tourists over there?
Here's the thing. Here's a good thing about tourists that people always underestimate. Tourist areas, what they're good for at least is there's variety.
True.
You could be 7 days or 8 days in somewhere, and eventually you go, okay, maybe I want to have something other than Thai food. Maybe I want to have a good pizza. Maybe I want to have a good, and because it's an international area, you're going to be able to offer. They'll have Mexican food if you want to try. They'll have pizza. They'll have pasta. They'll have all that kind of stuff. European food. They'll have doner kebabs and things like that too, if you want. So I think that's the great thing about being in a tourist area is that at least you can be able to get different kind of food, and then they're catering to you.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're taking everyone to tourists plus local spots. So the best of both worlds.
I mean, you can't like even okay. I'm not. You know what? Okay. One of the things I'm not going to do. We're not going to Maya Bay, and we're not going to PP Island, which a lot of people are like.
Oh yeah, PP Island. I forgot. Why?
We're not doing PP because I have to decide what we're going to go do with the time that we have. Here's my take on PP Island. Is it nice? Yes. Is it nice with a lot of crowds? It's not as nice.
So it's far from the beach where you guys going.
We're going to go north, and instead of doing PP Island, we're gonna go with a catamaran, and I'm gonna take you to other islands where you can see coral. So I'm gonna try to take you guys to islands that are a little bit off the beaten path, but just as beautiful and not as so many tourists. The ones that do tourists, we're gonna have to wake up early so we can beat all the tourists there.
Yeah.
That's my other thing. Like when people see all those, how do you get that photo in Greece without all the people? Yeah, you got to get there 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wake up at 5 a.m.
Right? You got to get there early. So when we do go to tourist sites, we're going to go there earlier than everybody else so that we can beat them to the punch. So that's
nice.
Yeah.
So it's a 10-day trip.
Yeah, it's not 9-day trip. 9-day trip. It was 4 and 4. Add in the travel day. Yeah, I guess if you add in the travel days too, it is closer to 10. Yeah, because there's 2 travel days in there.
So what would you suggest for people that have more time off? So for example, in Brazil, we have or not we, because I don't live there anymore. People have 30 days of vacation, and they usually use the whole thing. So if they're going to Thailand, for example, they'll stay there for like 28 days. So what do you recommend, like
I
for
just
people
came
that
back.
have time?
I just came back from 30 days there, so I totally get it. I by the way, 10 is a minimum. I hope people do say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I may do an add-on. Once I get everybody in, I may do an add-on and add a little bit more days if they want to do it. But here's the other place I would suggest. I just came back from Pattaya, and I'm doing a call with Jason Francisco. He's there right now in Pattaya. Pattaya is only 2 hours southeast of Bangkok. So
Mm.
it's within driving distance. You don't need to get on a plane and fly. And there's a lot of build out over there. There's fantastic seafood as well. And there are beautiful resorts are building out. It has a reputation too for having one of the largest transgender areas out there. My dad, growing up, here's an interesting thing. Growing up, we would go to Pattaya because it was now a lot of Thais like to go to Pattaya, where like Pattaya is like Phuket for Thai people.
Oh, okay.
So they
And
go
that's the
there.
other side?
It's on the other side. So we're looking at the axe. You're like going east now. So
Okay.
Pattaya is like a very popular area, and then I would say that a lot of Thais have been to Pattaya. There's like one of the cities on the way to Pattaya is Sriracha. You guys know that Sriracha sauce that everybody like,
Sriracha, yes.
that's named after the city. There's a city next to Pattaya called Sriracha. That's what it's
Oh my God.
and the but Pattaya is super popular, and they're known for they actually have the largest, most well-renowned um, transgender Miss Universe pageant in Pattaya every year at the Tiffany. It's a huge one. So they have a big community there. So it's very LGBTQ
Okay.
friendly, and but it comes down to Thailand, even though it's a Buddhist country and it's a conservative country from that perspective. But Buddhism, unlike probably other religions out there, is very much accepting. I mean, that's part of a tenet of Buddhism is accepting of everyone who they are. And so it's always been like acceptable in Thailand for that community. And they've already built out a huge community in there. And so, I mean, they've been doing those drag shows like since I was a kid, like for 50 years now. It's been like that was like the attraction. Like when I was a kid and you go to Pattaya, the attraction was to go to Tiffany show to go see that show. It was
That's
like
amazing.
a
So
thing.
is it safe to say that people in Thailand are free to be themselves?
Yeah, as long as you're respectful to the community and you're not disrespectful, like getting up on a religious shrine
Oh,
and
no.
take
Yeah.
those things are probably not things that you people should
Yeah.
do. But I mean, but
Common
generally speaking,
sense, right?
yeah, common sense. Don't get drunk and start doing stupid things. And as long as you don't do stupid things, yes, you're gonna have a great time.
I actually have a friend, speaking of drunk, so I have a friend that went to Thailand and he stayed there for a really long time because he was working remote. He told me that he went to this bar. I don't know where, I don't remember. He probably told me the name of the place, but he said it was very common to go to like these bars
Yeah,
and then people start fighting each other like in front of everybody. What is that?
I don't know. Wrong bar. I'm not
Like
walking
a
into.
ring bar or something? I'm like, what?
Well, was this in Bangkok?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Sorry.
I would say that no, that's not normal. But if you're in like a, so there's a street called Khao San Road. Okay, if you ever watched the movie The Beach, like Leonardo, he went.
Yeah.
Khao San Road is not. It's actually not far from where my family's house is, and I know it, but it's not an area where I think people should go and stay. Like it's not like it's a backpackers area.
Okay.
Like you're backpacking through Asia and there would be like that was the thing. But now they have like nightclubs and bars and everything down that street. So it's kind of become a walking street attraction. But like to stay there, I don't know if I want to go stay there. Like that's where I get my hostel or my hotel. I probably wouldn't do that. But I mean, there's other great places to stay. I would say totally stay on near Sukhumvit, like between 9 to 24, anywhere between there on the BTS, you're gonna be fine. There's tons of Marriotts. There's great Hyatts.
Go to a Hyatt. Use your points.
Yeah, use your points. Go stay at the Hyatt Place or the Hyatt Regency.
So how's the nightlife in Bangkok? Is it fun?
There's lots of areas. You can go bougie. You can go nice. You can go casual. There's lots of different feeling. You can go like with there's like where I stayed at, there was a hotel called the Davis, and they have like huge, like you think you're in a Vegas nightclub. Like, yeah, like they have like huge, like with the DJ. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, they got, you can do the bottle service. You can do all that kind of stuff they have.
Wow.
Or if you want to go to karaoke and you're a gentleman that's, by yourself and you want to go sing at a karaoke, there are places that they have girls come sit with you and sing songs with you. Yeah, like you could do they have all the time. Or you can go get a massage all the time every day, like you said. You can go do that all the time. Or if you want to go, you know what? Here they have movie theaters that are like awesome. I tell you, every time I go to Thailand, at least I want to do one movie there. And they even have American movies, but they'll just do Thai subtitles, but they'll have it in English. So you can go there at the mall, and they have what they call first class. We know about first class flights, right? Imagine first class movie theater. They literally have one of the theaters where it's literally like a round bed with blankets, with pillows.
I like that.
Blankets, pillows, and then you can order food, and they'll come and serve the food to your table while you're.
Nice. So lie flat seat.
I mean, it's literally like a bed. It's like a round bed. It's like one of those nice round bed. You can, for two people. So like it's watch a movie together. It's like you're being at home, but it's like you're in a big theater.
That's amazing. Sometimes I like to go to places and like pretend that I'm one of them and like to live like they are living. So going to a movie theater is something that locals will do for sure. So I think this is very interesting.
I totally recommend. They have great. Okay, here's a lot of things people know. Thai people are obsessed about Japan.
Oh, why?
The number one place, if they don't go like within the country and they're going outside and they're going to go, we want to go somewhere fun. The number one destination I would say that Thai people go to Japan. In fact, when I've been to Japan, I feel like, and I can hear Thai people there, I feel like I can use Thai more than I can use English.
Wow.
Many Thais that go to Japan. They like Japan a lot. Like when Japan finally opened up from COVID, all the restrictions, like Thailand was on the list of like, okay, you guys can come before the Americans were.
Wow.
So Thai people love, so now that you know that, they have tons of Japanese restaurants in Thailand, lots. And
like authentic.
Not just sushi. Like let me go farther than that. Not just sushi. You have sushi, but then you like, you want to do teppanyaki, or do you like the meat on the stick? Like they go. You ever been at a chicken restaurant where they have chicken heart, chicken gizzard, chicken skin, chicken like they'll have those places. They'll have like Hokkaido ramen. I'm like, Hokkaido ramen. Like they're like northern. Like they have the full on. Like Tonglaw, which is an area in Bangkok, has enough Japanese expats that move there that I think it's a fantastic place to go if you want to have Japanese food. I found a place too, Julia, this last time I went out there, and I found it on TikTok. I'll be surprised. I actually found it on TikTok when I was there. They have, it's small, but it's not bad. Uni, like the sea urchin for $2.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
My gosh. He actually, this is a chain in Japan. They opened their first location. Now there's like 4 of them now.
What is the name of the place?
I will have to pass it to you later. Look for it later.
Add it to your stories so we can go.
And you know what? We walk in there, and it's one of those places like you take off your shoes, and then it's like I love that. Slippers, they give you slippers.
The whole experience.
It's like the whole thing. It's a full-on experience.
I love that. We
Yeah,
don't have many of those here in Miami, but in LA, I remember I used to go to like places where you had to take off your shoes. I love the entire experience. I
yes,
miss that in here.
yes, yes.
Nice. So before you were talking about that, they are going to have the very first Michelin star on street food. Like, tell us more about that. I'm
So,
curious.
so back in 2021, I want to say 2021, the very first Thai street vendor got a Michelin star. Her name is Jay Fai. She ended up on a Netflix show called Street Food.
Mm.
And when they went to Thailand, they featured her. And now the place is like super, super popular. Tons of tourists. You have to make a reservation. If not,
Oh my
then
God.
you have to go wait in line for 2 hours and then wait for 2 hours because she has to make the food herself. I've been there 2, 3 times to try to go eat there, but I'm like, forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking my group to go eat there. The problem is she has to make it herself. She won't let
Okay.
anybody make it. So if you're eating her omelet, her crab omelet,
It was made by her.
it's made by her, but it ends up taking a real like you have to go there
Oh
not
my
hungry.
God.
You already have to eat while you're in line and wait until your next food, your next meal by the time there. But here's a good thing about it. Because that happened, other street food vendors in Thailand ended up getting a Michelin rating as well. And so now I want to say there's a there's quite a bit of Michelin star. So when people think Michelin star, we normally think of fine dining, right? Like it has to be kind of expensive fine dining, 5 star, and they got to do molecular gastronomy, and I don't recognize the food I'm eating, and I'm like, what am I eating? And it doesn't always have to be like that. Like the thing that makes Michelin is the rating is it's excellent, their delivery that that they are consistent, in their and it's something that other people want to come back again and again. I think those are like some of the criteria that Michelin has. And so why not in street food? And if you can do something really well, you've been doing it for like 40 years, it's hard, you understand things that that we would never omit. But those are things. So there's quite a bit of Michelin star, like we have a Michelin star food court in Siam Paragon. There's like Michelin star food court. Like a lot of the vendors that were on the street, they shut it down and then they moved because there was a big push to move some of the street food vendors into the
Okay.
mall because the street food sometimes it's just dangerous because pedestrians and traffic and things like that. So they decided to move in the mall, and now you have fantastic places you can go in the mall and be able to have. Somebody asked me, what is my favorite Thai food? Oh, this is a tough question for me. Um, the number one dish in Thailand is probably not pad Thai. First of all, I'll tell you that. And I'm not saying that pad Thai is not good. Actually, I had a whole discussion about this when I was in Thailand this last time. Pad Thai is probably best in Hue Hin. Hue
What is
Hin
it?
is like 2 hours west. It's the other
Oh,
area that Phet Buli area. They are very, very good for pad Thai. But pad Thai is shrimp, dried shrimp, noodles, tamarind sauce, bean sprouts. Here's the interesting thing. When I eat pad Thai in Thailand, it's not a noodle dish. It's one of 10 ingredients. So they put a lot of other ingredients. And I find like that difference between Thailand and here is that in Thailand, they actually give you a lot of other stuff, the ingredients. That's not just noodles. It's not just a heavy noodle dish with other stuff in there, which one of the things I appreciate about over there, So like pickled radish and things like that. So there's a lot of other that gives it the different flavor because Thai food, if you like it, is because you may not know it, but salty, spicy, sweet, sour. It has all those umami flavors in there and in
mhm.
bite. So it should have a balance of those flavors. And I think that's what makes it really good. But Asher asked me my favorite Thai food. My favorite Thai food is probably not even a Thai dish. My favorite Thai dish is called Hainam chicken or Kaman Kai, which is a Thai version, and it's garlic rice with boiled chicken, but the sauce has like a ginger, spicy. And there's one in Ban Tat Tong. Ban Tat Tong is such a great area. I just discovered on my last time there. I found out that there's this area where it's literally restaurant, 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 and it's air conditioned. So you don't have to sit on the street. It's street food, but you can go in the restaurant and get air conditioned. I don't think you can beat that.
Oh, yeah.
But
So, oh yeah, someone was saying it's basil fried rice. Henning chicken
yes,
has the best texture when done correctly. Okay. Yeah, I want to try
yeah,
all these foods now.
yes,
So,
you definitely.
if I wanted to try your favorite food, I would have to go to Thailand. People don't make it here.
They do make it here.
Yeah.
There's a Vietnamese version. There's a Chinese version. So okay. So the difference between the Chinese or Singapore, I'll say Singapore version versus the like if you go back and you watch like one of those episodes of Anthony Bourdain and he goes to Singapore, you'll see that dish. So it's really like a Southeast Asian Chinese dish historically, but Thais have taken, and the difference really is in the sauce. Like our sauce, we'll do a soy based sauce. So we'll put ginger, garlic, and chili and soy base in one sauce.
I love
Versus,
that
like, let's say,
combination.
you like that combination? But like, let's say, for example, if it was like a Singapore version, they're going to do three different sauces. So they'll have like their sweet one, then they'll have the ginger, and then they have this. So then they you kind of like choose a little bit of each. They'll kind of it'll be like deconstructed. Whereas a Thai that will kind of mix it all up into one dish. But it's a
I love
simple
that.
one dish plate, and I love it. It's like my comfort food. And I found a place in Ban Tat Tong Road near Siam that is open 24 hours. I sat there and I'm like, oh my
Jeez.
God. I'm gonna share, I'll share it on my story. I'm gonna share my story. It's a nondescript place. And I remember asking the girls that work there, and they're like, what time you guys open or what time you close?
They're
They said,
like,
"Oh, they're 24 hours." And I said to myself, oh my God, you
oh
guys are
my
24
God,
hours.
that good
It
that people just
it
go.
was, it was so good. I'm eating it. I'm like, this is so, even the broth was good. I brought it home to Niley. Niley's like, oh yeah, this is like one of the best I ever had. I agree. I think it's better than Goang. Goang is like the big name in everybody knows, but this one was unbelievable.
Oh,
Anyway,
interesting.
I'm getting hungry thinking about it as well. But I want
Same. I'm like, my brain is like, what am I gonna make for dinner? I don't have any rice noodles here. I don't have ginger. I don't have anything. So
really, I cannot wait to see you when you come out here to LA.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm super excited. It's gonna be
All right.
amazing.
Well, folks, if you are interested in joining me, go. You can comment Thailand trip, or you can send me a DM. I hope you guys definitely check out Julia as well. Her account is fantastic. It's growing by leaps and bounds. Journey on points. Thank you again for joining me here today,
Of
Julia.
course, it was a
I hope
pleasure.
I
You
hope you
gave me
learned a
all
lot
this
about Thailand.
history about Thailand. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. Yeah, here's
So
the
much
thing.
fun.
When I put this group together, this tour thing, do you know when I was a little kid and I said what I want to be? You know how people want to be like doctors and things? I
Yeah,
verbally said this. I go,
that was never me.
I said, I want to be a tour guide.
I love that.
Like, so
It
if
took
you
so
guys
well.
come on this trip with me, I'm not just doing it to do it. Like I'm getting to
Have a
fulfill the
passion.
passion that I wanted to do with my life. Like you can tell, like I love Thailand just by talking about it right
Oh,
now. You can tell,
absolutely. It's
like
like me when I talk about Brazil. So,
yeah, yeah. I can't wait for people to see what Thailand's all about. But thank you very much, Julie. I
of
appreciate you
course,
joining me.
it was a pleasure.
Okay, well, go check it out, everyone. We'll talk soon. Appreciate it, Julia. Good luck. By the way, do you have anything coming up soon that we should all know about, or anything that you're promoting right now, or you're looking
Not at the moment. I'm trying to figure out something really good, but I'll let you guys know when something
oh,
comes up.
oh, when it comes up, you should come back and we will definitely talk about it. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching and have a great night.